And there's a lot that goes into her feelings, and some of it is from the campaign and some of it is from the book. If you don't know the novelization of Kith and Kin, it is the novel that is the story before Vex and Vex joined Vox Machina. And it does actually cover the grief of their mother and the moment that they find the news that she has died. And I want to talk about that in the way that she is mourning Percy, because I think they're very similar in some ways. There's one thing that in Kith and Kin, there's a moment where Vex is very overwhelmed by the city around her. Her first reaction is to sneak out at night and run away from the inn that they're in, because she just needs to not be so like overwhelmed by everything. So she does go on a walk and it gets her into trouble and it's a whole thing, but she does try to run from the things that overwhelm her. And this comes up a lot. The thing with grief is that it doesn't look the same for everybody. These few episodes show that. Vexhalia spends a lot of her time feeling immense guilt, especially for the things left unsaid. She again set off the trap that essentially led to his death. This isn't her first experience with fast and sudden loss, because a lot of the ways that she found Percy is a lot of the ways that she kind of found out that her mother had passed. They had left Byrodin to live with their father, and once they left and came back to Byrodin, they had found out that Thordak had attacked their home and that a lot of people had lost people, but they had lost their mother without even knowing, because nobody had told them that that had happened. So that very like quick realization that the person that you loved so dearly was suddenly gone, very much she is reliving that same like, I just found out my mom died and I wasn't even there to do anything for it. Especially in the way, and Vexhalia does say this in the book, she says, I always thought that we would be able to go home. And it was expected that because their mother was human and they are half-elves, that they would eventually outlive their mother, but it was never a thing that they thought that like, I would always be able to go home. I would always be able to see that my mother was sewing dresses and, you know, that candles were burning late at night because she had a deadline to meet and sewing stuff. And I just never thought that that was something that I couldn't have. And that is something that Vex ends up kind of internalizing, because that's why she's like, I can't get close to anybody, because what happens when that doesn't exist anymore? What happens when I can't go home?